because I think for a long time I ran away from production, and I would run away from calling myself a producer because I had this thing of not wanting to be like cluttered with or grouped with people. Like I don't like to be grouped with people. I want to do my best to stand out, whether that's in marketing or creative space. So yeah, that's the goal for me, man. Is to be the producer that I know I am, and to be respected as that. That's like the biggest thing. Other than that, man, better health always.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Mental or physical, and that's it, man.
All right, check. Yes, we are live from Atlanta, Georgia. Novice Principles. It is your boy, Alex Cherry, as always, with a special Novice Talk. It's our last one for the year. 2022 is getting wrapped up. And as y'all can see who it is, I'm not going to say too much more. I'm just going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to get right into it.
Hey, guys, I'm Dose. You want me to give like a whole spill?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Dose. I'm a DJ, producer, two-time Grammy-Nominated Engineer and Multiplatinum Engineer, and truly the GOAT. So, yeah. Truly the GOAT.
But Dose, we're going to get into all that later. I appreciate
I've
you
never
being
said
here.
that about myself.
Really?
But that felt incredible because I got this hairline right now. So I'm chilling. Let's get it.
So for you, like before I even ask this first question, like because you already mentioned like being Grammy nominated, like being so early into your career, how does that make you feel being Grammy nominated?
To be honest, it doesn't feel like it's early in my career, but you are right. I think, you know, with anything creative, because you do it like for so long, it's like it feels like forever. So like I've been doing something in regards to music since like 12. You know what I mean? So it feels good. It's not what I expected though, to be honest. I think like when you're young and you have like goals of like, you know, like getting a Grammy or I don't know, Oscar or whatever, you know, your creative ability is, you think that it's like going to be like this life-changing moment where like, I thought, man, shit, when I get a Grammy, I'm going to be rich as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, for whatever reason, that correlated.
But I figure with y'all, like, as far as the Grammys, and this is what my thing, so I feel like people outside of the music industry, they look at Grammys as kind of like, oh, you know, it's a certain way, and Grammys shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't care about Grammys. But I feel like in the industry and you being in there, I feel like the conversation is totally different, and stuff like that still matters, though. Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think it matters. There's some type of like weight, you know what I'm saying, that it holds, because everybody doesn't get it. You know what I mean? It's kind of tough, and you have to work on, you know, certain kind of projects. Or then I wouldn't even say that. Sometimes you just don't even know. You know what I mean? It just depends. It's. I think now you see a lot of like boycotting around it, but you look at who the ones boycotting. There's also the ones who maybe have received them. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Or have that type of that type of say. So it doesn't. It's not necessarily like a life changing thing. And granted, I'm only nominated. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like a life changing thing. It's more of like an accomplishment, just like anything else for somebody who, you know, creates clothes, for their clothes to be, you know, represented in a store. Like I said, with like film, like Oscars and things of that nature, like it's that type of accomplishment. It may not be like super like life changing off the rip. Oh, you got a Grammy, or you Grammy nominated, and then all the riches and opportunities come your way. But you know, gradually you're able to attach it to dope stuff like I just did just now.
Exactly. Okay, so Dose, we're gonna take a step all the way back.
Let's do it.
You know, because you talked about you starting early, about 12 years old. So take us through like the beginning, because you started as a DJ, or was there like, did you play an instrument in high school? And,
Yeah,
like growing up, where to start?
So what? Oh God, how far back? I'm old.
Because you said 12. So just think 12. That's like what?
Before 12 then. Again, like I said, I always did something like involving music. For me, it started with like singing and dancing. Like I was like the guy.
You was dancing?
Yes, 100%.
Oh man,
100.
We got to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Not on camera though.
That's cool. I can do it on camera. No, I'm not doing it on camera. But yeah, I was singing and dancing, like, you know, like in talent shows and things of that nature, really early on, and that kind of like took the forefront. I really wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
So, you know, by the time, like, you know, time just kind of went on. met up with some guys in like high school. Of course, like started a band, but you know, it kind of. I was playing the saxophone, but I wanted to be the lead singer of a band. So I was with like my friends to this day. They're rappers. I was in this boy band, and a lot of like my experience outside of like singing and dancing came from just like having to do everything in house. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't hire an engineer.
Yeah,
from broke as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm a kid. You know what I mean? We did at that time. It was like Sound. You ever heard of SoundClick?
No.
There's my age.
Oh man.
SoundClick was like before BeatStars.
Okay.
So it was like,
damn.
yeah. It was like
that was a minute ago.
Yeah, like so it was like dope producers like Johnny Giuliano and Vibes Beats and
Legends.
like Superstar O. Like they come from like the SoundClick space.
Okay.
So anyway, we couldn't afford to buy beats off of SoundClick, so we had to, do everything in-house. And that's just kind of how things kind of grew. The boy band, actually, we started doing like some dope stuff, like dropping projects, doing tours. Like we did like the last leg.
Did performances.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I opened up for like Keith Sweat in Union City.
Oh, I love that.
Did a lot of schools. What else, man? We did a tour. It was like the Next Generation tour with like Mom's Behavior and like OMG Girls.
And like B5, you know?
Well, this man's wild. Talking about some B5.
Yo,
I'm not that old.
Nah. Okay.
But yeah, like certain shows,
groups
on
like
the
that,
tour
yeah.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and again, just doing a lot of stuff in house, and that eventually I realized I didn't want to be in front of the camera. Or I didn't want to be a artist. I was just like,
that was going to be my next question. Was like, so when did, because you wanted to be a singer, like when did that transition happen to where you decided you didn't want to be in front of the camera?
Yeah,
and you moved literally behind the boards.
Yeah, so I was behind the boards the whole time for the group, and then of course naturally, you just kind of start doing things like yourself. So I tried stuff. I tried like basketball. I sucked. My parents pulled me out of basketball and put me in like an audio engineering program so I could kind of like enhance like what I already was learning. So yeah, man. I mean, from there, like the rest was history. The group, we ended up like all going our separate ways. And for me, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna dive into this engineering shit. You know what I mean?
Y'all still close to this day?
Yeah, for sure. And then boom, college. DJing comes along.
I was about to say, like, DJing starting out. When did you start? So you started. When did you start at Morehouse?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay. And so did you start like DJing right away, or
no?
So how did DJing come along? And then we're gonna go through the entire DJing and then taking over of the Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure.
Scene. We'll go through that.
Yeah. How did it start? So my freshman year, I came in. Again, I was engineering, so I had like a whole little setup in my dorm. And I had a board. My uncle gave me a board. And I just kind of was messing with it. I really didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I at least knew how to transition with music. The opportunity kind of came where I was out. I remember I was coming out the CAF, and it was a Hump Wednesday, but the DJ from that Hump Wednesday was missing.
Okay.
And so they trying to figure out what to do, scrim around. And my man's Nello, he's like, he like Day-Day. He's like Day-Day. That's before I was even Dose. I wasn't Dose. Yeah, I wasn't Dose always.
Okay.
But like he's like, yeah, Day-Day got some stuff in his room. So I'm like, you know what I mean? But of course the entire like hall is like right there.
Everybody outside.
So like we all like literally just run. Excuse me. We all run to the dorm and pull everything from.
What house did you stay in?
LLC.
LLC. Okay.
Yeah.
I stayed in Hubert, so
that's unfortunate.
Look, I had a great time.
Okay, man. I like you though.
Appreciate you. I'm gonna say all my brothers.
During them times, it was weird though. I ain't gonna lie. It was like war. I mean, it was always war, but it was really dark.
As far as what, like,
we got fights and everything.
I mean, I just feel like that's how Morehouse dorms just end up being.
Yeah, but Hubert's always like historically like that.
We're chill. Like we're very chill. Like very relaxed. So
really,
a lot of creatives come out of there. But just your face.
Is that what you guys are known for? But anyway,
I don't know, man.
So we go grab the equipment, man, bring it up the hill, and boom, like that's like my first gig on campus. From there, it was a wrap, man.
Your first gig was a Hump Wednesday.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a lot of pressure. Because I feel
it was actually the first Hump Wednesday too.
That's insane.
Yeah, because
that's insane.
Yeah, like I didn't know what it was or nothing. I really was nervous as hell.
I believe it because I feel like a lot of DJs, and I've seen, especially at my time, Morehouse.
Yeah,
like their first gigs will be like house pageants or it'll be like a house party, something like that. But your first encounter being a Hump Wednesday where the entire campus.
Yep, it was the hip hop hump too. I remember. It was like my man's. I can't remember his last name, but man, his name is Mike. His name is Mike.
Hopefully he sees this.
Yeah. I know I can find him on Instagram. Okay. He loves anime, and I remember he used to like be a lover. Like he loved hip hop. Man, he had this bag, this Ninja Turtle bag. He used to have on the entire time, like on the campus. Man, and he did like it was like hip hop hump, and that's all I had really at the time. Because my people they're from New York, so I was playing stuff like anything from up north, like Naughty by Nature and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But anyway, that was the first time. Then after that, it was a wrap, man. I was doing like little parties out in like College Town, and then
I was still Day then.
Huh?
Were you still Day then?
Yeah, so I'm still Day. And yeah, this is before I even branded, but I'm just doing like little stuff. You know what I mean? I'm hanging out. I was hanging out with everybody. It was like some of the football players. You know what I mean? Some of like the Greeks. Like I'm just doing like little stuff, especially at College Town. And like I just fell in love with College Town to the point where my sophomore year I moved to College Town. Okay. Really, honestly, just to throw parties.
That's valid.
And it was a wrap. That next year, man, that sophomore year was so disgusting, bro. It was just like I'm talking about putting holes in like floors over in Castleberry, College Town, like just concaving the floors. Man, it's like it's endless videos. Like, and to be honest, like thinking back on it now, I'm like, dude, I'll never do nothing like that again.
I was about to say, and you gotta think like this is before Castleberry even like started like renovating everything because this is the Georgia Dome era, and so that entire time,
and you guys is like. Y'all like Graymont and stuff, right?
Yeah, Graymont.
Yeah, Graymont was like the ladder. Like I was doing Graymont because the guys who were staying at Graymont were the same guys my freshman year that was in College Town. Okay. So it was just like, just crazy, bro. Just crazy. Oak Street, Beecher Street, Graymont.
Those are legendary streets.
You know what I'm saying? The turtle houses. Like, bro, just going. It's so endless stories, bro. So that's my sophomore year, and then of course, like the promoters, they started getting wind of like what I was doing on the campus, you know what I mean? And like, boom, Thirsty Thursdays, Star Theater events, like going crazy, linking up with like my guys, Hit Squad and them. It was crazy. Boom. So this is when I become Dose, right? I have my man, Jean Michaels. He's Haitian, but his people also like Dominican, you know what I'm saying? And we in the dorm one day, and we talking, and he's like, yo, Dose. No, not Dose, because I'm not Dose yet. He's like, hey, Day, you know what you should name yourself? He's like, I'm like, what? He's like, you should call yourself Dose Diaz. So I'm like, first of all, I'm Bayesian. I don't know a lick of Spanish, right? I'm probably in like Spanish 101 for sure at this moment, right? And so I'm like, why would I call myself that? I know what Dose means. Yeah. But Diaz, I don't know what it means. He's like, because it's 2 days. So then we take this long ass pause. Oh. Yeah. So I'm like,
oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. So he goes,
this is the first time I've actually like really heard this story, and I've always been curious, like especially just being a spectator, because like we never built a relationship until maybe like the past year or two.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know Dose is like one of the legendary DJs in the AUC, the Atlanta University Center, but I don't think people really know the origin story behind it. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, bro.
So hearing that origin story is...
Yeah, bro. So it's day. It's 2 days, literally 2 days. So it's my nickname, my childhood nickname. It's like I don't know what you call it, a play on words with it, but it worked out. I don't know a lick of Spanish still. I know Hola and stuff like that, but that's about it. So yeah, that's how I became Dose and started DJing.
Okay, I fuck with that. So I guess like it all comes full circle. Mm-hmm. So when did you realize within that era for you that you were quote unquote
that nigga?
Yes. I'm playing. No, I mean, but like, because I feel like especially in the Atlanta University Center, and a lot of people don't know, But within the Atlanta University Center, every year there's kind of like a culture built around the events that we go to and the DJs that are there. And every year it might be the same DJ, but every year you see like various DJs coming up. So like for you though, like when did you know that you were like one of the top dog DJs? Was it just because you were getting sought out for every event, or was it just like you just had you had like a specific moment to where you knew that was the case?
I think it was a little bit of both. Like I was sought after for events. I started doing like a lot of like, you know, I wasn't doing like the upperclassmen stuff just yet until my junior year. But I was doing everything else, and it was literally just it was me. It was like maybe me and my boy Juice Lee, and then my boy Swank. And yeah, I just was like sought after, but I knew it was crazy when I was like, okay, I'm getting booked based off of the people that I'm bringing out. You know what I'm saying? Like they're coming out because like Dose is like DJing, and that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of fire.
That's
you know
the
what I'm saying?
that
Let
we
me take
have.
advantage of that. Yeah. So yeah, that's when I knew for sure.
Okay. So let's moving from DJ to producer and engineer. When did that happen? Like when did that happen to where you decided that you were no longer just a DJ? Because I remember seeing a post where you were like, "I'm not just a DJ," and then you broke it down to where you were like, "I can finally call myself a producer."
Yeah.
You know,
That
so
was
like, when did that happen?
too. Shoot, man. I think that so post grad. I honestly was at Morehouse for another year because of music, like because of DJing. I was just like not all the way focused in my last year. Okay. So, you know, I I was there for that's why you probably know me, is because I was just there for that extra year. If you graduated in 2020.
I was saying I'm saying I graduated in 2020, but you were on campus when I was a sophomore, when I was a freshman. Like you were there when I was a freshman.
Right. That
2018.
Oh, okay.
I went to school
my math is super
2020.
Okay. I'm just trying to make myself old, I guess.
You're aging yourself like fuck.
Yeah, let me chill, right?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. My skin is cool and but nah, bro. So post grad, right? I'm in every club. I'm like DJing clubs super heavy. Now, mind you, I've been engineering since like before I was DJing. DJing didn't come about until I got to Morehouse. Okay. So I still was like kind of taking steps back from engineering because DJing was I was just always in the club, man, all week. And to be honest with you, a little bit before the pandemic. So let's say 2019, right? I'm like, okay, I have to make a decision because truthfully, being in the club wasn't pulling in enough money for me to survive because of the system that's already in place. You know what I'm saying? Like you are what you negotiate. So if I'm working with promoters who I went to school with, it's a chance that they're giving me the same price
leeway.
Exactly. But the disadvantage that comes with that is that if you don't renegotiate yourself as like an adult or this post grad price, then they're paying you based off of what you was charging when you was in college. Exactly. So I was in that type of position, and it was my fault as well. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I can't put the blame on them.
I mean, you probably being too humble at the time.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I just want to be creative. I'm looking forward to being at the club every week, doing some type of backflips with some records and stuff like that. Like I just loved it. But at some point, you know, as you get older, you realize like you got to think about those things, man. Like I didn't have my own apartment or anything, but you know, you want to bring in some money and getting $150 for 3 hours. That ain't it. Nah, that ain't it. So I made the decision to kind of pull back from the club. Even though I've been engineering for that long, I was like, I need a mentor. I need somebody who's kind of like moving around. So I ran into my man's DJ BJ. Okay. And DJ BJ is Nudi's engineer and DJ. So this was like early on for him too. I remember he came to an event on the campus, and on the campus, you know, we was chopping it up. I was like, yo, dog, like, you know, I want to assist for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes you just got to humble yourself. And just no matter what you think you know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, this person, whether it be they've been doing this for 8 years, 3 years, 2 years, they got motion.
Facts.
Right?
And I mean, they always say it's like if you're the smartest person in the room,
something's wrong.
Then you need to step into a bigger room.
100%. So that was the case there. So I started traveling. Like BJ stayed in like West Bumblefuck, bro. Like he is like out the way, and I stayed in the other side. I stayed in East Bumblefuck.
Okay.
No, South Bumblefuck.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I would drive there every day.
Sacrifices.
Yeah, I would drive there every day just to kind of like learn some things. And what ended up happening, which was so crazy, I'll never forget this year. This was 2018. This was just when I had graduated. Like, a lot of stuff was moving along with him and Nudie. So Nudie and Pierre, they were working on the Slamere project.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so the Slamere project was like my first like credits ever, like assistant credits.
What record on there?
I assisted on Mr. Extendo and Dispatch.
Ooh.
And then
I did not know
Shata.
that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That was my and it didn't make the album, but Pissy Pamper. Yeah,
because of the sample clearances and everything.
Yes, sir.
Like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But legendary song nonetheless. So yeah, like all that came about during that time. I'm literally going with him to the sessions. I'm dropping him here. You know what I'm saying? Because I think BJ, like something was going on with his car. So I was just there, bro. And boom, Slamere project drops. The next day, he has a performance at LVRN. I go with him to LVRN. Mind you, I already come from like an R&B space. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm completely R&B. My uncle,
it's like, and you're a singer growing up.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? My uncle, he was my vocal coach, incredible vocal coach to so many. Like it's just too many to even name. So my background is in R&B music. So I get there. BJ is talking to one of the. He's talking to my man Naj, who he was a manager. He was like the studio manager. He's like, "Hey BJ, man, I know you too busy, man. We looking for engineers." He like, "Well, my assistant's here." Boom, started working at LVRN that Sunday. Started pulling back.
What year was this?
This is like 2018, 2019. Yeah. So anyway, to fast forward, man, like I just kind of dived into that some more when the pandemic came about because I'm like, damn, well, I ain't gonna be in the club.
Yeah,
I don't want nobody to touch me. I don't, like early COVID, man, it was scary.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? Like
everybody was in the crib.
But I promise you, I probably was the first one to get the vaccine in America. Probably that's how it was. I swear to you. But yeah, bro. So I just dived more and more into engineering, man, because I kind of had to, you know. And then, a lot of opportunities started just coming as the world just started opening up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So LVRN, we talked about it a little bit off camera, but like I guess like so they can see it, like, when did that connection with Summer Walker happen?
Yeah.
And then ultimately ended up working with Division. Yeah, the whole LVRN team.
Yeah, so Summer, I met her in 2019. She probably doesn't even remember me then, but I had the chance to work over it with her. But she was like, that day, she was like, I was super excited. Like, I had no car or nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally, like, either Ubered or had my little brother, like, drop me off to the city just to make the sessions. And that's, the most important thing is just being present. You know what I mean? So I got there. And she was so sick that day, man. She didn't record anything. And I'm like, man, I would have loved to, like, cut some vocals on her and things of that nature. But it just wasn't time. So fast forward, boom, in the middle of the pandemic, 2020, actually, like, around this same time, they, Clubhouse was going crazy at that time. Yeah. So, like, everybody had, like, their little rooms and stuff like that. So then there was an LVRN room. Even though like the studio was kind of like shut down and stuff like that, it was a room with everybody. And it's way bigger now. You know what I mean? But it was smaller then. But there were people that just didn't really run into each other. You know what I mean? So my man Mo, he was in there and we kind of connected on there. Then the next day he hits me. Mind you, like, I'm already, like, I'm realizing a lot. Like, the pandemic, you realize a lot about yourself. I'm like, I got bad anxiety.
Self-reflection.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, bro, like, I just be acting scary. You know what I'm saying? And I reject opportunities, and I'll make excuses for them.
Based off
at
of
least
fear.
early on, based off of fear. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I was doing that all through the pandemic. Like, I got asked to go work with Playboy Cardi. I was like, COVID. I got asked to work with Meek Mill.
I mean, so
be his engineer.
I mean, so like you just couldn't wear a mask, or like
again the fear.
The fear.
I didn't want to, like showcasing my talents was it gets scary. Like I might do well, I might not.
So when did you decide? So I guess like when did you decide that it was you just had to like really put yourself outside that comfort zone? Summer.
The decision to go up there. Mo hits me the next day. He's like, "Yo, they need an engineer now. They need a replacement engineer for this camp going on. Well, they didn't even say camp for summer. For right? Summer. So like I'm talking about at this time I'm doing like the Instagram lives, like DJing and all that stuff.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
those.
He literally hits me right after I get off of live, and I'm like, oh man. He's like, yeah, could you get there? It's 7:00. He's like, could you get there like at 8? I'm like, man, damn. Like I'm looking for an excuse, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, yeah, and literally my whole body just gets super numb, and I'm literally like, I'm packing my stuff, but I'm like, I'm shaking. I'm like, man, I gotta do this. Like I'm tripping if I don't.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Boom, I get in the car, I pull up to the location, and it actually wound up being a camp. Like it was like a camp for her to kind of put together like the production and stuff like that, and it worked out. Like
I love it.
I went in there, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of familiar faces. That's the day I met Sean Garrett that day too. Okay. So
legend.
Yeah, so I met him that day, and we were working on a record, which is the X for a Reason record there. Boom. First time ever working with him. It's going up until like maybe 3 a.m. At the end of the night, he's like, hey man, you're the shit. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
We lock in. So boom, we still working on summer stuff. I literally only start going to his crib to like work on summer stuff. Okay. Ends up happening at the top of January. She's needed. We need her. He needs her to come to the studio. So that ends up happening. Now only somebody like Sean Garrett can make that happen. Exactly. Because Summer, like she already know how to like do all these things. She got her system
probably
already.
Like a built-in studio.
You know what I'm saying? So he like, no, she gotta come over here, blah blah blah. Boom, the rest is history. That's started working with Summer from that. We built a relationship there, and boom.
That's crazy, man. Okay, I love that.
And then Division came like So Division is managed by LVRN. They with LVRN management. Shout out to Daniel, my boy, 1985. But that's super recent. But working with them is incredible. But I've worked with a lot of the artists over there. My man Eli, shout out to Eli. My man Black, you know what I'm saying? Like he's stomping on niggas next year for sure.
Y'all got a whole roster.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got a whole roster.
But it's super cool because I went from working for them as a staff engineer to working with them. And I feel like for me in the space that I'm at right now, not to jump forward too fast.
No, you're good.
To the space that I'm in now, I'm happy that I'm like my own being and I'm not like attached to anything because I'm able to like move here,
and work with like the different artists on whatever they got.
It could be LVRN, it's Interscope some days, it's Atlantic, it's like it's whomever, you know what I mean? So I think that's valuable.
So for you, do you ever do, especially because it's the end of the year, so do you ever do any self-reflection and just think about like all the shit that you've done this entire year? Because I feel like this is a year to where you're having a lot of full circle moments.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, do you do self-reflection? No? You just worry about the work?
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not healthy.
It's not, but I do self-reflection. Okay. I don't do it as often as I should. I should say that.
Is that just so that you stay
because I'm trying
in the moment?
Exactly. And no, I actually don't stay in the moment. I'm worried about the next moment.
The next one.
So look, how many weeks we got left in December?
2.5, 3.
I'm trying to make some shit happen within those. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel it. Yeah.
You feel me? So then by the time maybe Christmas come around, or not even Christmas, towards the New Year, when that comes around, then I'll be like, damn, okay. Because the year's old. In my mind, I'm like, well, not even in my mind. The year's over. once you get to December,
it's right back to it.
You get what I'm saying? You notice I didn't say December because I forgot how many days it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. It's 31, ain't it? Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. It's 31 days in December. When I get to December 31st, then I'll reflect. Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to move, man. You
and
know
there's
what I'm saying?
still days here to
There's
work.
Still days to work, bro.
Because it's like, you never know what can happen. Like, you never know what can happen in a day.
And whether or not it's for something to happen in that span, that time frame, or for something I know it's something massive coming to the top of the year. Because that's just how, as a creator, that's how you like one thing leads to the next. One situation leads to like you getting the next check. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about No Sections, and the idea behind it and how you guys were just tired of it.
Tired of bullshit.
Tired of all the bullshit, exactly. So, what do you see from No Sections within the next 2-3 years?
Man, it's so much that's planned. What I will say is that it's beyond parties. For sure, and that's things that's already been lined up. But for sure, right now the focus is the parties. Okay, and also traveling. I saw y'all was in Alabama not too long ago. Yeah, we got a couple other stops as well. We might be going, might be heading out for New Year's out the country. So just getting that together and just being ahead of the game, man. Getting like getting the top and the bottom of next year, like, together as far as like that's concerned, moving around. But you'll definitely see, man, it's a lot that we got planned out.
Okay, dope. So I have 2 more questions.
Yeah, man.
So my first question, what are your personal goals for 2023?
My personal goals, my number one goal for 2023 is like kind of like the clip that you saw, is to make sure that I am presented as a producer. Because I think for a very long time, I've been doing a lot of work in the studio that hasn't just been engineering work. It's been production, and that's why I get called. I get called because of the extra shit I'm doing. I'm not just there, sitting there, recording. Exactly. It's the suggestions. It's to do this harmony. It's this. This lead needs to be stronger. It's the, what do you think about this? It's the rearranging the beat. It's the adding, elements to the record. You know what I'm saying? So I had to see it in myself first, because I think for a long time I ran away from production, and I would run away from calling myself a producer because I had this thing of not wanting to be like cluttered with or grouped with people. Like, I don't like to be grouped with people. I want to do my best to stand out, whether that's in marketing or creative space. So yeah, that's the goal for me, man. Is to be the producer that I know I am, and to be respected as that. That's like the biggest thing. Other than that, man, better health always. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Mental or physical, and that's it, man. Okay. For real.
So those, last question. We're here on Novice Principles. So, what is one principle that you instill in yourself every single day, like a mantra that you live by?
Can't is a man that never tries. Ooh. So that quote comes from my father. He always used to tell me this. It's like, he'd be like, man, listen, man, practice not using the word can't. He's like, you use the word can't, you're not going to do it. You know what I mean? So can't is a man that never tries is like honestly one of the only quotes that I literally hold on to like on a day-to-day basis. So at any point that I feel like I'm about to say it or I feel like I can't, boom, like I just said, I just kind of retract. You know what I'm saying? So,
take a pause and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dose, I appreciate you being on Novice Principles.
I appreciate you.
Of course.
For having me, brother.
Did you have any last words that you wanted to tell everybody? Talk to the camera.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And, continue holding yourself accountable through it all. And push limits, man. Like, and anything that I'm saying to you now is everything that I say to myself. I always say that to people. ask yourself what you aren't doing and do those things going into this next year. 'Cause that's what I'm doing with myself right now. It's like, what am I what am I fearing? What do I keep saying I don't have the time for? Because those are the things that's going to elevate your career like completely. So that's just for you, man. The people, they could take that too. You know what I'm saying?
Can. That's real. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'll do that. Okay, well, Dose.
Yeah, man.
Again, I appreciate you being on here. Novice Principles.
Of course.
Y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Y'all make sure y'all stay tapped in with Dose. We're going to put all of his socials below. We're going to put everything out there for y'all to just see. So thank y'all again, and stay tuned for part 2 of the Novice Principles end of the year wrap up. Alex Cherry signing off. Boom.